Hello human beings, I am crazylegsjan and welcome back to VR in a wheelchair. Today we are reviewing a game called Red Matter 2. Red Matter 2 is a story-driven sci-fi adventure puzzle-ish game.
Is that you?
Where you start out talking to an AI that tells you that you have been trapped in a simulation as a sort of interrogation. Kinda like in Altered Carbon on Netflix, if you have ever seen that. You have been placed in another body because your actual body is dead and you have no memory of what have happened because of the simulation scrambling with your brain. You start out trying to find your friend Stas that you find out is tangled up in some weird engineering stuff and experiments. You go to the last place you know Stas was at, and then the puzzle games begin. The game is fairly pretty and well made. The controllers you have in your hands looks amazing, and the game looks identical, or at least very similar, no matter what you play it on. The environment is great in the game too. Like you honestly have a feeling that you are in space. You need an AI that doesn't want you to be there because it doesn't want the secrets that the facility stores to be known by others. You solve one puzzle after another to figure out what Stas was doing there. And in the midst of the puzzle, you figure out that Stas was shot at one point. You figure this out by activating the auto searching machine and looking through the saved data. As you progress in the first map, you figure out that not everything is as it seems. There is a big secret that everyone wants to keep a secret, and that becomes more and more obvious when you keep finding some red residue or matter of some sort. The music in the game gives me massive Star Wars or Predator vibes. I played it after I ended the recording. All I could think of was when I would get surprised by a predator on top of something, and Arnold jumping out from the corner yelling at it. I'm right here, come on, do it! Come on, do it, I'm right here, kill me!
Sasha, we'll find him.
After that, you get surprised by the entity itself.
Beta, do you read me? Shit.
I did also have a problem where when my controllers was vibrating, then it would also shake the hands in game. So some of the reading on the hand screen on your non-dominant hand could be hard to read. I also reached out to the devs about that, and they're looking into it. The game is fun and interesting. I haven't played the first one, so I don't know if it goes on from what happened in the first one. But I'm thinking about buying the first one and play that through to figure that out. The game is fully playable as a wheelchair user, as long as you can move your arms normally, I would say. You can usually jump up on tables or ledges with the jetpack so you can reach the things you need. And you also have a duck button so you can reach stuff on the floor. I had a little problems when I had to open walls and such, as I couldn't get it to stay up, so I had to hold them open while walking towards them to eventually get down in the hole or whatever. But it wasn't all problem free, but the game thankfully has an auto stock feature that counts down from 3 seconds and then moves you to an open spot that fits you. The options menu in the game offers a lot of settings to adjust. You can adjust if you want to use smooth turning or snap turning. Snap turning doesn't allow adjustment of angle, sadly. You can also adjust how the jetpack moves. You can adjust what determines your direction, if it's controller or headset directed, if you are seated or standing, adding blinders when walking, turning and flying, so you won't get nauseous. You can also adjust the blinder size. You can also adjust the angle of your gun and difficulty of the game. You can also set what hand is your dominant hand. the dominant hand is where you move, and non-dominant is where you turn and fly. I've reached out to the developers and asked if they can at some point make an option to pick what hand you want to move with and turn with, but they told me that it would most likely take a fair bit of time to make that, but they will look at it at some point, because they could actually see the smart thing in it. In the meantime, I have made a controller binding in SteamVR that does this, but it won't change the visuals though. And I did publish it for people to use. The game is on Steam for €29.99. It's on the Oculus Store for $29.99. And finally, it's on the Quest 2 store for $29.99. If you feel like I'm missing something or could have done something differently, then leave a comment and remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out this video where I'm reviewing Zenith.
3D printed organs, blood samples. I'm just not seeing the connection to the red matter.